We have a BMW E90 here in for a fix. Unfortunately, these fixes are becoming more and more common. You can see the wrong size bulb was used. It's pushing out the reflector in there on the low beam. It's hard to see. High beam, we have an LED. Wow, LED high beam. Pretty much output goes to shit once you put that in. And not only that, you can see it's not even installed properly. Can't wait to see what the backside looks like. In here we have an LED on the fog light. So we just peeled off the wheel and the fender liner. Wow, this is beautiful. We have a CAN bus digital ballast made in Japan. I don't think that's probably true. A lot of goop there, probably just some silicone, but usually the bulbs come with waterproof grommets and no sealant is required. So a little bit, a little bit surprised to see that. But then again, I'm not, because I could already tell there was an issue and the customer just wasn't happy with the previous shop. Now we're going on to the fog light. So we got a plug and play bulb. The issue is we got this flopping around. It is a capacitor. So the error code was coming on, and not only that, they did not have a nice waterproof plug and play splitter installed there. So you have to tap into the factory wiring, which is not ideal, but you do it if you have to. But these days there's so many connectors available. We're going to pull this out and inspect a little bit more. So we just uncovered the high beam cap, which also houses the original angel eye bulb. So this customer put in a new setup here. Well, the shop put in a new setup. They provided all this equipment. First of all, it's hard to tell, but it's actually on a very poor angle. So if the angle is not proper, it's just simply not going to work. And it wasn't working because, well, it's not even attached. And then even more alarming, we found that the ballast, this CAN bus ballast, is connected to the wiring that is on the car side. So whenever you do a modification on the headlights, I mean, this goes on a lot of modifications, if you can avoid it, you will always tap into the wiring inside the headlight. In this case, it's all internal. The plug connects all the way up there, and you would want to connect this inside. All bulbs, so these wires right next to it, there would be a bulb grommet like we spoke about and a set of wires coming out. So you tap internally, feed the wiring out going into the ballast. Never do you want to connect up there, because if there's any issues, you have to go back to the dealership. Guess what? It's all hacked up, the factory tape is undone. It's a big red flag. And this is a clear example of how not to wire in your HID system. They could have made it very simple, but they took the more difficult route, and it's installed improperly. And we just pulled out this angel eye, and to our surprise, some kind of spacer installed in there. 3 spacers, actually. Somebody took the time to carve those out and put them in. That's the sad part, because couldn't have been a quick thing. So we pulled it out. We got the Lux angel eyes. They're plug and play on this model. We recommend the customer to get them. And I can already see why the angel eye wasn't bright in the first place. Look at the location of these 4 diodes. It's mimicking the factory, size of the original replacement bulb that was in there. And these, the diodes are on opposite sides. They're much larger. Clearly not a proper fit for this. And even though they worked on one side and one side wasn't plugged, which was this side, you're not getting any brightness. It's not aligned properly. Without it being aligned, you're just not seeing, you're not seeing the brightness difference over stock. So the customer saw, a cool white glow, but they were not in any way effective or a proper replacement. So we're just wrapping everything up here. It's going to be the second to last part of the video to show you how everything's operating. The Lightwerkz ballasts, they have their own individual grounds. That's going to go to a factory grounding point, which we can't really see too well. The downside to using the Lightwerkz ballast, they have the integrated, CAN bus adapter. The ballast may be small. It's nice and hidden back here. You can barely see them back there. They're double stacked. Space is a little bit tight and it's hard to mount everything. We've zip tied everything. Even though you can't see it, doesn't mean we don't spend time making it look nice. This is all going to be covered by the fender liner, so you're not going to see anything. We reinstalled, we actually installed the HID system on the bottom, reinstalled on the top factory halogen high beam to restore that output. because no LED bulb is going to be sufficient for high beam output. And once we get it back on the ground, we'll update you guys in a few moments. So we're wrapping this up right now. Dual Hilux ballast Morimoto 65K bulbs. As you guys can see, there is absolutely no error codes. Beam pattern is pretty decent for a drop-in HID system. Fog lights turn on right away. No issues with that. And we're gonna go to the front now. So Lux halogen replacements for the halos. Nice and bright white. It's a little hard to see, and the camera picks it up funny. And we got the nice HID system on the bottom and on the top. Matches in color and intensity. So no error codes, properly installed. We removed all the other stuff. And now the key is, what we're trying to do by showing you guys this video is really take the time to get to know your installer, ask them the right questions. We do these fixes about once a week, more and more. More and more people think they are qualified to install the systems, but they're really not. You know, backyard hack style mechanics, cutting up nice wiring, and just doing it the wrong way. And unfortunately, when it comes to us, we spend a lot more time fixing this up than really was needed. I think we spent about close to 2.5 hours on this, fixing it up, rewiring, fixing the mistakes. And honestly, it's cheaper if you get it done through us. Maybe our labor is a little bit more expensive per hour, but a true specialist will get the job done quicker and it'll last longer, because a lot of issues happen due to installation errors. And we see a lot of people falling for the tricks. And you know, the local all-in-one stop shops, they do the stereos and the head units, sound systems, and you're left with a lot of problems when you go with the aftermarket HID route. So come to a specialist. If you're not close to us, we have a network of specialists that we can recommend all over the country. And this way, you have somebody that can install products properly, and you're left as a much more satisfied customer. So if you guys have any questions, please visit our website, lightwerkz.net. You can email us, info@lightwerkz.net. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have a lot of information and a lot of tips and tricks, basically, to show you guys the differences between all these installers, because we're not all the same, and we're trying to, you know, fix up the name. A lot of aftermarket installers, they are just hated upon, and we're definitely not that. We're premier installer, quality products, and we're going to do it the right way, and we're going to give you the right recommendations on how to do it yourself, or bring it to a local shop and contact us. So we look forward to hearing from you. Thanks a lot. Have a nice day.